Hello and welcome to the Velain Report, a HolyImpactMinistries.com production. I'm Pastor Scott Velain. God bless you and thank you for sharing your time with us here today. We have some distressing news for you. Some of this you may have heard about, may not have heard about, but we wanted to put it in your hearing. Let's go ahead and take a look at the browser very quickly here. It says thevelainreport.com. This is the website you'll show up at. Article we'll be talking about will be right here. Headline reads, School Threats and Lockdowns Across America. What is really going on? ISIS promised America in May. The next 6 months are going to be interesting. We're going to take a look at this. This is by All News Pipeline. Now, I know that All News Pipeline can really kind of reach a little bit sometimes. So we know these things, but this is something that I absolutely agree with. The All News Pipeline comes out with a lot of pretty good articles as far as what's going on out there, and oftentimes they'll say things that other people are thinking, but they don't want to say out loud. So this I completely agree with. It says school threats and lockdowns are going on across America. It says, what is really going on? ISIS promised America in May that the next 6 months were going to be interesting. I want to read this to you. It says, on September 15th, ANP published a story called Strange September 18th Warning Letter Goes Out to Parents from School Near Philadelphia, in which we asked, do they know something we don't know? After a very concerned parent had a very bad feeling about the letter she had received from her children's school. At the top of the story, we see an SQ alert from Hawk on all of this now happening. It says, in the few days since, we've been witnessing all across the country a number of school lockdowns due to very mysterious threats that have come in. It says on Thursday, at least 11 more schools were locked down in San Diego, California, in the San Diego, California area after bomb threats were allegedly phoned in. While already today we have learned about schools in Kentucky being shuttered with threats were apparently levied or active shooter spotted as shared in the second video below. Again, all these schools shutting down. We've got shooters all over the place going on now. They're sending home letters telling you that they're going to lock down the schools and you're not going to be able to get your children out of the schools when they lock them down. One in Pennsylvania sent a letter about some kind of chemical attack, and if there was a chemical attack, they were going to lock the kids down in the school building, and you weren't going to be able to get to them. All of this is going on. Here's a little bit more. It says, we also learned yesterday the 2 schools in the Greenville, North Carolina area were placed on modified lockdown yesterday after a man with a gun was spotted nearby. The second time this has happened in Greenville already and just begun the school year. ANP isn't the only one getting a very bad feeling about all of this, as you can hear in the videos below, including the first video from Professor Doom 2, who asks if there is some kind of pattern going on here. Last year, threatening letters were sent to schools in Rhode Island warning of ISIS-style beheadings of school children there. Are we now witnessing a new terror campaign by ISIS in America? Back in June, Western journalism reported on ISIS threats made at an Oregon school, while another Western journalism story shared that ISIS promised harsher attacks on American soil, with the group saying the next 6 months will be interesting. That story was written on May 15th of 2015. It says we cannot help but feel that all of this is what is going on right now is somehow tied to the Philadelphia area letter we previously reported on and some kind of bigger agenda, whether that agenda is ISIS terrorists spreading fear or some kind of false flag agenda unfolding. As parents and grandparents of school-age children, we are absolutely abhorred that terrorists or false flag terrorists would once again put our children in potential danger. All of this goes to prove the pure evil mindset of those who would do such things in America, whether these threats are being made by ISIS, those with an agenda, or just some foolish kids playing various dangerous games. While ANP doesn't have the answer to what we are now watching, we are clearly living in a time when all eyes and ears need to be open. Video cameras, telephones, recording, and Americans prepared to take down our enemies if necessary. My friends, I just want to say this. You know, we live in a country right now where we are harvesting our children. We're not only murdering them, but we're harvesting them like animals. We're murdering them and we're harvesting them. And we're selling their body parts to the highest bidder. We have already made sodomy the law of the land here in America. We have out-sodomed Sodom. We do articles all the time about gay priests in the Catholic Church and in the Protestant churches. All of this coming into God's house. We don't keep his Sabbaths anymore. We don't keep his laws, his commandments. We don't keep his feast days. We have ignored God. And we can tell by looking at how God handled the Israelites, how he will indeed handle us here in America. The first thing that he has always done is to remove the nation's borders. My friends, our borders are down. And if you do not believe that, I want you to take a look at what else we are seeing here now. Is there a Muslim terrorist training camp near you? Yes, my friends, there are terrorist training camps near you right now. They're already here. Not only are there Muslim terrorist training camps near you, they have been taken off of the terrorist watch list, while Christians have been put on the terrorist watch list. I want you to watch this clip that we have here. It's just 2 minutes long, called Homegrown Jihad. This, again, is at the conservativepapers.com.
Essentially, we have a fifth column movement in the United States that is criminal in nature, criminal in background, and criminal in future intent, with a religious mission that's been retrofitted onto them.
The enemy has been very bold in telling us what they want to do. They literally want to take over our country.
The group is responsible for over 50 attacks on U.S. soil and has over 35 compounds right here in our very own nation. Now, a new investigation by the Christian Action Network has uncovered some disturbing information about the spread of homegrown terrorists and what they mean for America.
They stockpiled weapons, they stockpiled explosives, they targeted Hindus, they targeted Jews, they targeted other Muslims, they targeted Christians, they terrorized. Fire!
We want to declare once and for all that America is our country. We will defend our country against all these enemies. You're a liar.
Watch the video.
You're a liar.
Get out!
No one ever
Get out!
charge their phone.
Get out!
My friends, if this is not distressing to you, I want you to read this next article that we have here for you from Breitbart. This just 5 days ago. It says, federal data. U.S. annually admits 250,000 Muslim migrants. Annually. We already admit 250,000 Muslims annually. It says, at Breitbart News, review of State Department and Homeland Security data reveals that the United States already admits more than 250,000 Muslim migrants each year. President Obama intends to add another 10,000 Syrian migrants on top of that. Now, if that does not distress you, let me take you to another article that was just 6 days ago. This is from the freedomoutpost.com. And it says, here's a list of the cities Obama will be dumping or invading Muslims and refugees. A list of cities that Obama will be dumping, invading refugees. And if you go down here and you read this, it says, has Congress been shirking its duty for decades? Sure looks like it, because of the proposals to bring in as many as 100,000 Syrians in 12 months. 100,000 Syrians in 12 months. There must be hearings. Come on, Trey Gowdy. Come on, Bob Goodlate. Where are you? History tells us that the House and the Senate have been shirking their duties under the Refugee Act of 1980 for 20 years. And here is the list of different communities and the 190 cities in the United States, a list of 190 cities in the United States that they will be bringing these Muslim refugees to very soon. They'll be coming to could be coming to your city. You need to come in through here and take a look and see and know and understand where they're going to be at. My friends, this is not a game that we're playing. This nation is going to go through a great shaking. A great shaking. There is no doubt in my mind as a pastor, as a man of God, that God's protective hand is moving away from this nation. And our schools are soft targets, and they will be the first targets of choice for our enemy. They are sitting ducks in our schools. And yet there are still those Christians who will not arm their schools. Will not arm their schools. My friends, this is going to be a very interesting 6 months indeed, as ISIS has already told us. If we think that this is going to go away, if we think that our children are safe when we drop them off at school, we'd better think again. I don't know about you, my friends, but we're already seeing a ramp up of these school lockdowns and these letters that are being sent home to parents about the schools being locked down and the parents not able to get their children. These attacks, you mark my words, and I'm not a soothsayer. I'm not rubbing my Bible trying to tell the future. I don't need to. I don't need to. God has given me the God-given common sense to know what's going to happen next. And you mark my words, our schools will be attacked. My friends, as Americans and as Christians, people of God, we need to prepare. We need to prepare in every way, monetarily and spiritually. We need to be on our knees. We need to be praying. We need to be repenting. And we need to be seeking the face of God. Because I am telling you, you have no idea what's about to come.